I was going to
The
put
link.
stuff. And I was like,
we're
the link.
live.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, you want me to tweet it?
Yeah.
It should come up. We are live, but yeah, I think it posts automatically to Twitter. You can retweet there. Yeah.
Do it now. Oh God, let me.
All right. Well, yes, we are doing a fairly impromptu podcast. It's Nick and Peter Miller from Condition Nutrition joining me to discuss all the big breaking news today and yesterday, and even on Friday. I'm going to get into some of that stuff, but the headline here is, of course, Nong-O, Rodtang, going to be at 1173 now, Pete, and Nabil versus Enahachi at Friday Fights 126 Tempo in September. I got to say, I wasn't expecting these two fights to be announced for those days, or even Enahachi and Nabil to be announced at all. Bit surprised, Pete. What can you say that you knew going? Because I was working on the assumption that Rodtang and Nong-O was going to be in September at this tempo.
Well, I was under the assumption of that until last night. Like Rodtang started camp again last week. We started getting him on the meal plans again, and then he reached out to me last night and was like, potentially going to be fighting in Japan. I was like, okay, just keep me updated, and then this gets announced today. So like, yeah, I knew the Nabil fight was happening like a good few weeks ago. So it's just the Rodtang one, which is a bit more of a surprise to me. But another trip to Japan, it's better than going to Lumpini. So I was like,
yeah. Oh, you've been holding out on me. I only found out tonight. Pete been keeping the secrets pretty well. Good on him. But yeah, so you had started working with Rodtang already. I posted the picture that you posted, I think last week on Monday. You had just started the meals, right?
Just started the meals, yeah. He wanted to start again. So I went down to the gym, brought him his meal because he's using the meal prep company again that we used last time. And yeah, he's been on the meals all week. And then he reached out to me last night and was like, I might be fighting in Japan. And said, instead of the 26th, he said, yeah. I said, cool, just let us know once you know the news. Because obviously, November and September, September's coming up soon. So I wanted to know that was all confirmed, but it's all been confirmed today. So yeah.
Yeah. Well,
he had a little bit more of a break off his diet. I just messaged him saying, let's give ourselves 8 weeks and don't enjoy food too much, and talk to you soon.
Well, yeah, it's good for me selfishly, because I was just telling you I was going to miss this fight because I'm having my baby like 3 days before that tempo in September. So I was obviously not going to be there. But now I will see this fight because I'm going to Japan. So I'm quite happy selfishly, and also slightly happy as well that Nabil and Haggerty aren't fighting on that card. And possibly that could be in Japan. I don't know if you know anything about that fight, if you could tell us anything. But
I actually honestly don't know anything about that. I was assuming something was going to be along the lines of that happening in Japan. But things change. Sometimes you think sometimes our information, our intel is wrong. We get it wrong.
Well, I was just going off the assumption because Chatri posted it on Facebook, Nabil versus Haggerty and Nong-O versus Rodtang. So we knew those fights were official, sort of, because he only seems to do that if it's official. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on, whether Nabil and Enahachi...
assumption that was going to happen around that time, whether it's the Prime show in November or Japan. That's what I was under the assumption. But yeah.
But then Nabil reached out to you and said, I'm going to be on September doing this.
It's only just been speaking to Mehdi, because I speak to Mehdi quite a lot. And me and Mehdi like good friends. So like it's only really just contact from Mehdi, and he mentioned about happening in September, and then that's all I kind of know.
So changed quickly, but yeah, I'm wondering whether Nabil and Enahachi, the winner, maybe goes and fights Haggerty for Haggerty's kickboxing belt instead of Haggerty challenging Nabil for the bantamweight Muay Thai belt now. I don't know. Yeah, just wondering out loud, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I suppose, like, if it was the kickboxing belt, you'd assume whoever wins that fight would fight John for the belt. Yeah, it's a strange one. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Things change all the time. I thought I was this time yesterday. I thought Rodtang was on his second week of camp, and now he's not. He's going to Japan. So these things change. These things change very quickly.
Yeah, I'm just struggling to keep up today because, I went to the doctors, with another baby scan, and then I'd already been working on another big story that I'm gonna be putting out tomorrow, and then this news about Nabil dropped at 7:00, and then I texted someone in my championship. I said, please, fire the translator. I said, please tell me there's no more fight announcements tonight. And she didn't even know. And then I started hearing whispers over this Rodtang Nong-O announcement was going to be on the Tong and Frank podcast, the One podcast. Shout out to Frank and Tong, by the way, for this big exclusive. They had Chatri on the show tonight. I don't know if you speak Thai, anyone, you should go and listen to that. It's on Facebook, but on One Championships Thailand page. But yeah, some big news there. It seems. I don't know if he dropped any other news. I'm trying to find out now.
Trying to translate. I went on it. I was like, I tried to go on the translate option, and then it just didn't come up. So,
well, yeah, my one of my spies, Shine from One Lumpini FC, has told me he confirmed the Rodtang Nong-O news from the podcast to me. So shout out to Shine from One Lumpini FC. He also says, I asked him, did Chatru say any other big news? And he said, no, other than a rematch from the main event last week and the last 2 weeks. So I guess he's talking about Friday fights and some new gloves, apparently. There's an update on gloves and also AI fake news. So nothing else major. I guess that is enough big exclusives for one show from them. But here it is, Nong-O and Rodtang is official. Put it on my Instagram. Thanks for the collaboration, Pete. It's going well. Got 358 likes. There we go.
Popular, mate. That's what it is. Popular news.
It's just, I'm just struggling today. I'm coming up for air now. So much big news. And I was planning to do this show to talk about Takeru and Dennis Porch being announced also for 173, because that news happened on Friday and I didn't do a Friday show or Saturday. And then last night they announced Tawanchai is going to come back against Lu Minyang in kickboxing. So that will be the headliner, the main event of One Friday Fights 126 Tempole. Nabil and Enahachi is the co-main. Just a crazy few days of news. I'm going to jump into the chat quickly, say hello. Chandy wants to see Haggerty and Muay Thai next. Clump thinks Haggerty fighting Regan Ursel. I don't think so. Haggerty's too small, as Chandy says. How many fighters does Pete have on 1173? Yeah, how many you got?
Up to now, Pacquiao, Kane, and Rodtang, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so 3.
That's not too bad. Yeah.
6 the last time in Japan. So, yeah.
We're slightly less busy, but still.
Oh, yeah. Nothing will be as, in terms of pressure with the Rodtang thing last time. I was having sleepless nights with Rodtang.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I'll be all right now. A bit more confidence he's going to be okay.
I remember you were so out of it on the day of the show. You went to the wrong city or town, didn't you? Got the wrong train.
Yeah. I think just the whole weeks of the pressure is Rodtang going to make weight, thinking about every scenario, and then it happened, and it was just kind of like the balloon just popped and just. So I was just that fight day. I was just out of it.
Yeah, I feel like you didn't even care that you went to the wrong place. You were just so.
Honestly, I was really happy that I went back to my hotel room, got a load of food, and just watched it on the TV.
Yeah, and I saw you afterwards when we were hanging out in Rodtang's room, and yeah, you just seemed so relieved. Well, it's going to do it all again. Will it feel different this time working with him, or are you still going to be stressed?
No, I always get stressed, like regardless of there's always like you always see me on like the fight on the weighing days, like there's always that like element of the stress. Just the making weight process is never easy, but knowing the data that we got from Rodtang last time and how easy he made it, it's going to be a lot less stressful. But this is for the belt, so there's that added layer thing. So it's regardless how many times I do this, there's always that element of pressure to make sure you get everything right, and it's always like an improvement as well. Like I look at it and go, okay, you made weight last time, great, and you did it easy, but what can we do this time to make it even better, adding them small improvements? So that's the one of the main focuses for me. How can we do it even better than last time?
Well, it's pretty good last time. I'm scared to think how you could do it even better, but I suppose, it'll be easier this time, right? With the whole weight cut. Last time was the first time Rodtang worked with you. Seems like he's dialed in to your processes and everything. He's fully bought into your way of doing things.
Yeah, there's always that element of now he knows how we do things. It's a little bit less pressure off him because he's probably thinking the first time we work together, like, who the fuck's this guy? Can't even understand his accent. He's meant to be English. What's he saying to me? Like, probably the first few weeks he just didn't have a clue what was going on, and then going to his gym, building up a bit of trust, and like we're like on really good terms, and like we speak to each other regularly. So he knows now, like, I've got his best interest at heart. I'm here to help him. And so when we start up again, I said to him, like, let's start up again 8 weeks. We don't need to start right now on the food. So mid-September, we'll start up again and we'll do the same as what we did last time. We'll see if there's any improvements that we can make.
Well, it's good for Rodtang. He just had his baby, so he can relax a little bit. I know we were talking about maybe going and seeing him. Who knows? Maybe we can drop in on the farm. And
actually, he did mention to me the other day about going, but his is a long way from me. The grab driver didn't even know when I went to his house after Takeru. The grab driver didn't even know where we were going. It was like in the middle of nowhere. So it's I want to get lost out there.
Well, I'll be there in a few weeks. Maybe we can figure it out. I'd love to see the madness. I heard you telling me that he wants to buy a lion as well for the farm.
A zoo or something. He was saying to me. Yeah.
Got a big all right. Yeah, let me look at the chat again. Well, he's a rich man. Yeah, I wonder what he's getting for this. His last fight, I think he got 400,000 US, something like that. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be getting a lot. And this most important thing to him, Pete, is getting that belt back, right? I'm sure he's talked to you about that.
100%. And like that's what I said, like, it's going to be better next time around, but there's also that pressure that he wants his belt back, so we can't be slack and we can't be complacent on it, and like we still have to be on the ball all the time, because yourself with this game of making weight, some people take the eye off the ball and mistakes happen. So I'll be making sure that doesn't happen.
Mistakes happen for me every day when trying to make weight. Right. I got a question here for you from Story of the Fight again. How do you make sure you don't spread yourself too thin when you have a few people on these cards? Yeah.
I think it's just, I'm lucky really that I work with everyone that's got a really good team around them. So I can kind of just bounce in between the fighters. I give them instructions, a team. We've done multiple camps. A lot of time, like Japan, like Nabil was there, multiple camps with Nabil, multiple camps with Bella. Rodtang was the first time, so it probably took a little bit more of my time with Rodtang. But it's just lucky that the teams are so good and they know how, like, my processes and how we do things. I can just like float in between. I mean, they're in the same hotel anyway, so it's not it's not like I'm cooking the meals. I'm getting the meals, planning, and like if it'd be probably a little bit different if I was cooking everyone's individual meals. It'd probably be spread a little bit thin there, but and it's just experience as well. Like I remember having 2 fighters on the card, and I was stressed out, and then you end up getting 3 the next card, and then you get 4, 5, 6, and then you just kind of get used to that workload. Just practice and continue doing it all the time.
Yeah, seen this man in action. It's he's a whirlwind of energy. There's the Thursday, he just comes to life.
And then Friday night.
Friday, he just disappears. Yeah. But what was it last event? You had someone who missed, and I know you take it very personally whenever someone misses. Who was it? I can't remember. Was it the one before?
What, with Eunice?
Is it Eunice? Yeah, I think it was Eunice. Yeah, and you just seem really sad. And I wanted to say, don't worry. You have a 99% pass rate. I think you've only had a handful of people, and it's often not even your fault, right? But you take it very personally,
Oh, 100%. And like the things like that with Eunice, like I only work with Eunice on fight week, so my reflection on my work is like, someone's jumping on board on fight week, your hands are kind of tied behind your back, like you've got to do what you've got given. And so, my reflections and my practice is, do you take someone on just for fight week now? Do you just have to have a minimum requirement and work with them? Because I hold my hands up when things go wrong, or there's something I could do better, but that would be a reflection for me. Is like, don't just get someone on board for fight week. Work with them a little bit longer, so you got a bit more time for them to lose the weight and not have such a big weight cut.
Yeah, well, like I said, don't beat yourself up too much. You have a very good track record. But I'll go back to the chat. What's up, everybody? Good evening, Nick. Aiden says, good evening, Aiden. Another live. Here we go. Yeah, we've had a few live shows the last week. I'm back in the groove now. So I had to do one today. So much news. Love that opportunity for Lu Manyang, says Shandy. Yeah, Lu Manyang against Tawanchai should be a bang. I wasn't expecting Tawanchai to go back to kickboxing so soon. I thought Tawanchai was going to fight Shadow or Bampara Kuyate, the winner of that fight. They're next month. Or I actually interviewed Shadow today. I got his thoughts on the Tawanchai fight. It's Anonymous. Shout out to Anonymous, one of my members. Not too excited about the idea of new gloves. I don't know what the new gloves are. We'll see. But there have been a few finger pokes. I think Eunice, that happened to him, didn't it? I don't know. How many other fighters have you had with the finger pokes in the eye? Was that a first for you?
I think that's the first for like the fight actually getting stopped for that, from what I can think of anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
Other instances where they have, but not when they've had to call off the fight because of it. Yeah,
Eunice's eye looked horrible. All right, Chatri said he's not collaborating with anyone but UFC. Says Clump. Yeah. Chatri probably doesn't know where his MMA champs are, just like us. Chandy says Amazon Prime now showing Friday fights every Friday, says Percy.
Oh, yeah.
Chester's pretty happy about that. Where did it? I don't know where it was before in America. Was it YouTube? But anyway, apparently it's not on Sky in the UK anymore, Shandy says. Have you noticed that, Pete, when you go back?
I'm only back once every 6 months. So I don't yeah. Well, last time I was, when was the last day? May? No, I don't even remember, mate.
I was just thinking today or yesterday because I was watching the Premier League. The Premier League is back, football, and I just was remembering when you and I were in that hostel in Denver last summer watching Liverpool or someone because it's in the morning there, right? And
yeah, we
were watching Friday fights, just in our beds in the hostel. I love that, watching the fights in bed in the morning. You Americans get it pretty sweet there. It's a cool time, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was a year ago. Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, we should have been back this month. Hopefully next year.
I'm happy they didn't go back there. Too fucking far away. That was well too far away. That was well too far away to go.
I found this the card for the hostel in my desk. Yeah, I must have stolen it by accident. So
yeah, actually, we were there for 4 nights, weren't we? And then we moved to the one hotel, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe I'll bring that back. All right. Let me kick on here. Right, so yes, I just wanted to look at a couple other fights that have been announced. So we did this one. Here is Nabil and Enahachi. Anyone tell me if you like my new graphics, let me know. I'm trying to spice things up a little bit. I've been on Photoshop today, trying some things out. Because I've just been posting these official ones, but everyone does that, so trying to mix things up. Yeah,
I use Canva for my stuff. I've been trying to learn a bit more on Canva.
I like your stuff. Yeah, I saw your one. You used some of me and Liam, and I think
that video. I saw that style on Matchroom Boxing and thought, I like that. Do it like there's the video that start like the circle video that you're talking.
Yeah.
As a photo, I thought I'll try that. I did the Chachi one the other week as well.
Is that on Canva you do?
Yeah, Canva.
So you can do video posts and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, my missus keeps telling me to do Canva.
That'd be a good thing to do where you could put like the cover photo and like a quote, like the post I did yesterday, and then like have the interview and then I'd start it. Apparently the carousels are the ones that are like getting the most engagement and stuff now.
Really?
That's what I've heard anyway.
Maybe I need to switch to Canva. I'm an Adobe guy, but I'm getting pissed off with Adobe because they tripled the prices in the last year, and you got to pay for everything separately. And their free version, Adobe Express, just doesn't have as much as Canva does these days. So maybe I'll be making the switch. Story of the fight, struggles with Canva. Used to use Photoshop. I like using Photoshop because it seems more legit, but I just think Canva is easier. And guys like Pete, we're not very savvy with this stuff.
I think $20 Aussie I pay for Canva. Yeah.
Every month.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. But I got so many subscriptions to things. I'm just trying to get rid of all of them. But I'll check it out. I like your new graphics.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tawanchai. Yeah, this should be a good fight. I thought Tawanchai would go back to Muay Thai, but he looks like he wants to fight. He become a 2-sport champ still. I'm not sure. We'll see if he loses that. That's pretty. I wouldn't say embarrassing because Lu Men Yang beat Noiri, but he then lost to Siasarani, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how that fight plays out. But anyway, Panpayak and Asadullah Mangazaliev as well on next week's Friday fights. I think that is, 29th of August, main event. That's a bit scary. I'm not sure how it turns out for Panpayak. I imagine Asadullah gets his contract there if he wins.
Oh, it's a hard fight, that,
Yeah, I speak to Mehdi as well a lot. Not as much as you, but, I've spoken to him about Asadullah a few times, and he says Asadullah is really special. He thinks he's going to be a champion, within 2 years in one.
That's a fucking hard fight, that.
Yeah, we've seen Panpayak can be susceptible against these Russians. But we'll see. It's a good card this week as well. Was announced over the weekend. Teng Nung and Maxim Bakhtin main event. Some fun ones here as well. Ubad Hussein is back in action. Michael Baranov, who we had on the show after his debut from Tiger Muay Thai, he's back. Also, Jean Carlos Pereira, who I interviewed a few months ago, his last fight against Shea Dobbin. Check it out, guys. Next week's card, which I think Panpayak is headlining. Is it 122? Yes. 29. Also got Song Chai-Noi and Num Sorin. They announced today. So many fights being announced. I've seen some more fights from that card that are going to be announced. It's an insane card. It's not a tempo, but it's sort of not far off it. You can enjoy that one, August 29th. it's going to have some implications for Japan, I think.
And then the Prime card week later.
Yeah, Prime card. We got Jackie. You got Jackie, right?
And Stella.
Both of them. Oh, you're doing it again.
Doing it again, mate.
Are they cool with that? Do you have to check with them?
Stella reached out to me and she knew I was working with Jackie anyway, and then I just messaged Jackie. Look, like the thing for me is getting the fight on. Like my input is just getting these fighters on weight. You've seen it before where fighters have failed weight, failed hydration. The title, it's not a title fight anymore, and it's like if someone's wanting to work with you, and your job's just to get them on weight, make sure they pass hydration, then it's making the fight happen, isn't it?
Absolutely. Can be a struggle, but once the weigh-ins are done, you're kind of free, aren't you?
I'm getting fried chicken. I'm going home.
Yeah. Yeah, you got anyone else here? Are you doing Ibrahim again?
Yeah, and Takeru as well.
Oh yes.
I'm working with Rambo as well for the final couple of weeks. So yeah, I think half the cards. Is nutrition, mate.
Yeah, as it should be. I look forward to this card. I'll be there. I'm sadly, I was saying I'm gonna miss Nabil and Tawanchai. I'll be here. The baby born a couple of weeks before that, but yeah, I've seen some more fights that are going to be announced for that show. It's going to be a good card. Fight nights are back. I'm enjoying these fight night cards again. They're starting to get a bit more stacked. I like this one here. Title eliminates Vampire and Shadow. Check out my interview with Shadow. I'll get that up this week. Just too much going on. I can't even upload all the content I've been doing. I also interviewed Johan Ghazali the other day. I still haven't put that up. Interviewed Stamp. That one's up if you haven't seen it. She talked about wanting to have a Muay Thai fight with Veronica from Myanmar before she comes back to do MMA. She's thinking of Muay Thai, so that was pretty fun. And then I spoke to Itsuki Hirata after her win on Friday, her comeback. So a lot going on. I got more interviews lined up as well. Hoping to speak to a few more people from this card ahead of the show. And yeah, even more. Busy, Pete. It's all go.
Shit, mate.
Yeah. Shouldn't have been complaining during those quiet months. We were saying we wish the big shows would come back, but here they are. And now I'm really busy again.
It was like 5 weeks in it between cards at one point.
Yeah, I mean, it's typical. They after the Japan show, it was pretty slow, let's be honest. And then as soon as my kid's going to be born, they've got 3 back-to-back incredible events. So I think I'll be, fingers crossed. I'm definitely be in Japan, but going to miss that tempo. It's a shame. But hopefully we'll have Giuliano there, my video guy, getting some content. Right. Mr. Nutrition Anonymous asks, how many fighters do you think could be using Ozempic to make weight? Has that entered combat sports yet?
That's definitely something that's crossed my mind. I wouldn't rule it out. Definitely wouldn't rule it out. How prevalent is it? I couldn't really say, but I'd say there's definitely some fights. I'm not saying like one championship or anything like that, but I would imagine there's some fighters across the world who have used that if you've got a lot of weight to lose.
What is Ozempic? I hear about it all the time. It's some
like a weight loss
drug.
Yeah.
Okay. But it comes at, it's sort of a cheat code.
Yeah, it's what like a lot of the celebrities are using now. When you're seeing, they used to be, bigger than they were. Now they're really skinny because it's like a quick weight loss drug. But yeah, it has actually crossed my mind a few times. Well, like, is that prevalent? And fighters will do anything. Like from my experience, fighters will think of all kinds of ways to make weight. So it would not surprise me if someone's used that. Would not surprise me.
What's the craziest thing someone's done or tried to do? Like I remember Smilla trying to cut her hair.
Yeah, that was a bit rough. I hated that moment because
it was horrible. I shouldn't laugh. It was
that was horrible. Trying to think of there's nothing that really springs to mind. Just like crazy weight cuts, like doing kilos in the sauna or kilos in the bath and not eating for a week. And like Rodtang, prime example, Rodtang said to me, he didn't eat for a week before he fought Jacob. He didn't eat anything. I think he had like a boiled egg once a day.
Oh.
For a week. And this is a guy fighting for, well, he wasn't fighting for the title in the end because he got stripped of it, but he would have been fighting for his belt, which is mad. Like at that high level, it's mad to see that was someone's diet.
Yeah, he used to do some questionable things, but now he's got you, so it's all good.
Got him on the sashimi and salmon fight week, Coke Zero, loving life, playing FIFA.
You could see the happiness in him as well. I've never seen him so happy in fight week.
Good. I wish I could look back at that and watch that again and just I don't think I really absorbed that week, just from a professional point of view, where all what was going on, and it was actually a really enjoyable fight. It was enjoyable. It was playing FIFA with him and everyone else that I was with. It was and then it kind of just happened, and then the next day you're flying home and you never really take it in.
Yeah, same.
It's our job. Big things happen, and then the next day, it's just it's over. You never really digest it.
No, I remember we were in Rodtang's hotel room playing FIFA, just it's a casual thing.
Yeah,
3 or 4 in the morning. His pregnant wife is buzzing around the room.
Had his Thai food on the floor, you're having beers. It was just moments where when I retire or whatever, finish in this space that's a moment where you think, yeah, that was pretty sick.
Yeah. And moments before that, we'd been in DeBella's room, just same thing, having champagne and pizza. Yeah. Just incredible. Yeah. I'm looking forward to Japan again. Yeah, I mean, I like Lumpini, but yeah, it's become a bit formulaic. Every month is the same. Yeah. Even more so to the Friday shows.
As well. Even though my job it is about the fighters and do my job, getting them on weights and stuff, but it does make the job more enjoyable when you have got something to oh yeah, going to Japan, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, looking forward to it. All right, let me check out some comments quickly. RDR still hates one and Chatri Percy says, I struggle. Oh, we've done that. No need to pay for Photoshop unless you need the AI stuff. Says story of the fight. I don't know what that is. I might ask Will about it, get his opinion. So Alizab was interested in coming back for Ursel. So Shandy, I don't know. He commented on my thing saying he doesn't really want to do it. He wants Ursel to make his own legacy. I don't think it'll happen. Anonymous says Panpayak never truly escaped Chatri jail. Jandy says Panpayak went from Chatri jail to the Russian gulag. Yes, indeed. Clump says Nabil becoming 6-time champion, 3 different weight classes in 3 different disciplines would be universal. What do you think, Pete? Yeah, has he talked about that with you? He's making noise about kickboxing belt, Muay Thai, and bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight.
To be honest, I haven't really spoken to Nabil for a couple of months. Mainly just I speak to Mehdi all the time, so just conversation with Mehdi, and I don't think it's really a priority right now. I think that conversation only happens when there's a struggle to make the weight. I think until that time happens, I think he's just keeps doing what he's doing, really.
Yes, well, he's got his feet on the ground, Nabil. I like him a lot. Glad to see Android 18 back in winning form, says Percy. Clump says, he could fight lightweight 1 month and then the next fight bantamweight. This is Nabil, so very easy. I don't know. He couldn't really. Do you think once he goes up, he's not going back?
It really depends on his walk around rate. If he was like really heavy, and then how could I give a scenario? I'd say he walked around like he thought he was fighting a lightweight, and he's like, oh well, I'm gonna, put on a little bit of weight or eat a bit more food, and he's walking around at 75, 76 kilo, and he fights a lightweight, but then he wants to go back to bantamweight. It'd probably be a little bit harder for him to kind of bounce between the two, but Nabil's quite light, I'd say, for lightweight, so I don't think that's really like I think he should do right now. I think he's definitely got at least 2-3 more fights at bantamweight, because it when you're moving between weight classes, like a 5 kilo difference, it can kind of get a little bit messy then, especially when you're trying to maintain a good weight and then you don't know which weight you're fighting at. Yeah, I wouldn't be a huge fan of doing that. If you're going to move up, like you move up, like you've made the decision that I'm going to move up now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I kind of,
and I think also as well, so like what I actually proposed about this the other day, where when people do move up a weight class, I've had instances where people have gone, oh well, I've moved up a weight class now. I can be a little bit more slack on my diet because I don't have to cut as much weight. And then what ends up happening is they end up cutting the same or more weight at the higher weight class because they've just gone completely slack with the diet. And they go, like a quote from a fighter that said to me, oh, I haven't really thought about my diet this camp. I'm like, oh well, maybe you should. It doesn't matter. Doesn't mean that you've moved up a weight class all of a sudden, like that the nutrition thoughts go out your head, or controlling your weight goes out the window. So that would be my concern if you're bouncing in between all the time.
Yeah, when do you think he's going to go up to lightweight?
I don't think there's it. I don't think, maybe like 2-3 fights, I'd say, potentially.
That soon? Like, no, because...
Well, I suppose if, like... It depends it depends on how far the fights are going to... If he's fighting twice a year or 3 times a year, that's going to mean another, potentially 18 months' time. So it already depends how active, because Nabil last year had... From memory, I think he had like 5 fights last year. So he's pretty active. So it already depends on how many opportunities he gets to fight.
Oof,
and also like back-to-back weight cuts, it can make it a little bit harder the next time around, because you're just constantly like dieting, not dieting, not dieting. So yeah, it all just depends how active he is.
All right, well, he's at bantamweight for now, for the near future at least. All right. Any news on Wonderboy and Smilla? Stay tuned. That was all I'll say. Fabricio should fight Muay Thai. He's got insane hands. Club says, well, Fabricio Andrade started as a kickboxer, I think, and done a lot of Muay Thai over in China, or mostly a lot of kickboxing there. This is why they booked him against Haggerty, and it's why his striking is...
Been telling me about that, about watching his fights, and like, he fought in China, didn't he?
Yeah, I know the fight didn't go his way against Haggerty. Haggerty made it look easy, but Christian, was telling me they were very impressed by all the footage they watched of Fabricio.
He was pretty worried about it, really. I remember him saying.
Yeah, his striking is really elite in MMA, and hopefully we see him back soon. Yeah, it's been a while since January. Did one bury Robocup again? That's Soldich. I don't know. He's fighting some Polish thing. I'm not sure what's going on with Soldich, but I think he's still with one. Anonymous says Hirata did not truly win that fight last week against a regional fighter coming off a 5-year hiatus. I thought Akbar would be fighting for the title, says Clump. Since he beat the champ, he missed weight, but I don't know how that works. Yeah, we talked about it on the last show, I think, or one of them. Not sure why Akbar isn't fighting Tankai now. He's fighting Ibrahim. I don't know where Tankai is. We'll have to see. Anyway, what else we got here? Ozempic chat. Heard it makes you pukey. That's still the fight. Ozempic gives almost zero hunger. Fighters could do workouts, eat one apple, and feel full for the whole day.
Sounds like someone's been using it.
Yeah. Percy, where is Ray Flores? Yeah, I think Ray's. I don't know how much I can say, but he's not. His contract ran out with one, and he's not working with them at the moment. It's a shame. I think they should work with Ray.
Love Ray. Such a cool guy.
Ray Flores, shout out. I'm a huge fan of Ray. I thought he really elevated the product. Every fight he called, he made it seem better.
His commentary, he's like, yeah, next level, different level.
Yeah. And I haven't really listened to the new people. I know some of them. Like, I know Doug. He's a nice guy. I know there's a new person on Friday Fights. I don't know her name. And there just seems to be all these different combinations now. They had Tom DeBlas and Rich Franklin come in for 1 month. I wish they just settle on something, but I really like the Mitch and Ray combo.
Ray's just got a classy, like the other one's like good, but just Ray just had a classy aura about him. Sounded like a commentator, Ray, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got a great voice. I think he's doing some boxing stuff in America, so shout out to Ray Flores.
He's in Sweden. I seen him on the story today, maybe yesterday.
Sweden.
Yeah, I'm sure it's that shit. Or it might have been somebody else. But, yeah.
Shout out to Ray Flores then. All right. Yeah, well, hopefully I'd love to see him come back. Who knows? What else we got? Val. Didn't expect this one at all, says Val. I don't know what he's talking about. Maybe Rodtang Nong-O in Japan. Fill us in, Val. Shout out, Val. When will Surianlek get a damn contract? Nicolas says, I know I'm late to this. I missed a couple of your shows, but I've been wanting to ask you. Dude, I've been banging the drum about Surianlek forever, and I've been same as Kuleb Dam. You know, they have some guys who they just seem to want to keep around forever. I don't know why. I think eventually they will. Kuleb Dam and Surianlek both go up. I really don't know. I mean, Surianlek's even fighting on numbered shows, in January and March, and he's still not got a contract. I don't know why. He's very good. Nabil would probably need a year or two off to bulk cleanly to make lightweight, says Anonymous. Do you agree with that, Pete?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't say a year or two, but even like when there was I can't remember, he put a video out of him in Tawanchai sparring. I think it was in the last couple of months, and the size difference. Obviously Nabil's a taller fighter, but I don't think he'd have too many issues with other lightweights. He just might need to put on, a little bit more size. But I don't think it wouldn't take a year or two, and especially if an opportunity came up. I don't know if any fighter would be like, oh no, we need to wait a little bit longer. I think Nabil's the type of person to be like, let's go.
Look at the updated poster for 173 on one's website, Lewis says. LOL. So formally haven't added.
About 30 minutes ago. It's probably why the media team probably haven't got onto it.
Well, there it is. Yeah, it looks frankly ridiculous. But you can see some space there. I guess Rodtang and Nong-O's faces will be filling. I wonder now if Rug and Anatoly Malakin will still be the co-main event. I don't know. Probably Rodtang and Nong-O.
You think that one, yeah.
But this is crazy.
Is it better than the card in March?
Well, 5 title fights. And from what I understand, there could be a 6th with Haggerty and Nabil or whatever. If it's Haggerty versus Nabil for kickboxing belt, Haggerty versus Enahashi for kickboxing belt, or Nabil versus Haggerty Muay Thai belt. And I think there could even be a 7th title fight. You will see what I'm talking about soon added to this card, which is to me just madness. And then you've got like Stamp, who's not even on a title fight. You got Superlek, Yoza, Stamp Kano, Superlek, Yoza, Takeru. It's not even a real prelim, I think. Well, you got the grappling.
Start looking for some flights soon.
Definitely, yeah. Sue Kim, Jake Peacock.
It's an area which is well better. Like the hotel's just there as well. Like you can walk back to the hotel.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I prefer that.
Is where the fighters' hotel won't be there. But it's not there. But it's somewhere. But it's the other end of town or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I really enjoyed it. The Super Leg Takeru fight. We stayed in Ariake. Like Pete says, it was 5-minute walk to the hotel. Everyone just hanging around in the hotel lobby. Good vibes. Enjoyed it.
Best week of the career. That was sick.
Yeah, it was a good one. Saitama, yeah, that show was great event and everything, but it was just too spread out. I think a lot of the officials were staying in Saitama. The fighters were in another hotel in Shinjuku or somewhere, and we were in a different hotel from them.
We were in a hotel, weren't we?
Yeah.
Box room.
Yes.
Couldn't swing a cat in it.
Yeah. Just a weird week. But this card is looking insane. I wonder if they'll do a double header kind of thing like they did in Japan.
In September, he reached out to me the other day. So yeah,
he starts in September.
Yeah, he wants to start up again in September.
Yeah, I got an interview with Pasho on Wednesday, so look forward to that, everyone. I'll ask him about that.
And
just
Anna's in camp already now. She's already started.
Yeah, it's just a crazy card. I don't know. I just wonder maybe they'll split it over. I don't know if they can do it at short notice like this. I remember in 2019 October they did a double header in Japan, one show in the morning, one in the evening at the same venue, Tokyo's Sumo Hall. I know I wouldn't mind that. I think they may have to be honest, but I'm down for that. We'll see.
I'm going to start pricing up flights now to have a look.
Yeah, let's go.
How much the Ariake hotel is.
Yeah, it's not going to be cheap for sure.
This time I'm not getting me free trip. We'll have to pay myself.
Is Haggerty challenging for Brisho for MMA belt? Anonymous asked, no, I don't think so. Nabil versus Nabati looking. Yeah, that should be fun. I think it will happen at one point. Ray would really add to the 173 show. He makes big moments feel massive. Story of the fight says, agreed. So much. Ray was good, but he had huge shoes to fill after Chevello left, says the Shandy. Yeah, I love Chevello too. I think Ray did the best job out of everyone at replacing Chevello. I think that's very fair to say.
Definitely.
They tried. A few people tried. Not everyone has succeeded. I like the new female commentator on Friday Fight. She sounds very natural and seems to speak about the action well. Yeah, Anonymous, I agree. I'm sad. I'm annoyed here. I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but from what I've heard, she's good. She comes quite highly rated. I think it's a 3-person booth. Sorry, there now. Bring back Chevello. Percy asks. I think the Chevello boat has sailed. There was a time when I couldn't post anything about One Championship without people asking where's Chevello. That was 2-3 years ago now, or 2.5 years ago. I think was his last show. Hi, says Saw. What's up, Saw? Surianek and Kulabdam, official street killer contract blockers for one. And almost says, well, they deserve to be on the mage. They can't stay there forever. One putting all their eggs in one basket with 173. Percy says, yeah, they very well maybe. Definitely going to be a big pay-per-view. Hopefully the thing doesn't go haywire like it did last time. Anyway. Well, I'm just going to very quickly look at these, and then I'm not going to stay too long. Pete's got to get to bed as well.
I'm off to Vietnam in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got to do a leave and entry for the visa. So I'm going to Da Nang for 2 nights. Nice.
Da Nang, very nice. Kontorny Ortikov announced as well for Fight Night.
Signed up Ortikov as well.
So you got Kontorny again?
And Ortikov, yeah.
Both of them. Oh. Nice. Another one. Another double header for you.
Double header.
Also,
I'll be saying hard as Tawanchai and Nabil. Yeah, Nabil.
You work with Nabil. You excited for this one?
Yeah, really excited. I was because we've been speaking for ages about it, and he told me that they've offered him it and they're waiting on the contract and that kind of waiting game. And then when he announced it, yeah, delighted, because I got a really good relationship with John and his family, like you have as well, and like good people to work with. So delighted for him, delighted. And yeah, he started back up again like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, looking forward to seeing him.
Lovely guys. Let me see if I can find it. I'm sure they won't mind me sharing it, but John's dad, Angelo, sent me a video the other night from New York where they're hanging out. Who was he with? So it was John and Reggie and Ursel together having cannolis. Yeah, here it is. I think. There it is. I hope it plays.
Nick, this is for you. Nick, this is for you.
Hi, Yo-Yo.
A cannoli king.
Say hi to Yo-Yo.
Yes, so that's John's mum there. Angelo's filming his dad. And so, yeah, John was with Ursel, as you can see. Yeah, they were training together, in New York. And Dylan Dennis was there. It's pretty cool. I love Ursel as well. You might be working with Ursel too, right, for his next fight?
No, so he works for my mate. So his team reached out to me. Obviously, the relationship I got with George, I was like, it's not really. It's a bit of a conflict of interest, especially such a big fight. So I said, look, like my friend who's a doctor in Perth, nutritionist, and I put him on to Colin, and yeah, they had everything went really well from what I heard, and I think they'll be working together again in the future. So I'm glad I put that recommendation out.
Yeah, well, it worked. Ursel looked really good. Yeah, it's a shame what happened to George. I haven't spoken to you since that. Yeah. Have you spoken to him? He must be down, but he said he's got another fight now, I think.
Yeah, I've spoken to him a couple of times. Like he's had enough fights to know that it's just sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're nail, and the main thing is to just get back to it again. I think he's back training, had a bit of downtime with the family, and I think he's more hungry than ever to get back to it. But obviously it's not nice, especially with someone like like the lucky thing with my job, I've got like a really good relationship with like the majority of people I work with. Well, everyone I work with I get along with, but I've spent a lot of time with George and Haggerty's and etc. So when they lose, like you feel it as well, because you've seen them train, you've seen all the work that they put in. So it was hard to see how he was after the fight, but he'll be back. He'll be back, definitely. He's only young.
Yeah, I saw him in the lobby of the hotel, and I went over to say, hard luck, mate. You'll be back. He seemed in really good spirits. Like, I've seen a lot of fighters in that lobby after shows who some of them are just heartbroken. It's really sad. But he was actually like one of the most chilled I'd seen. He didn't seem fazed by it. I think his dad was a little more upset than he was. I know his dad had been he was very confident George was going to win. But as I said, I had a little dinner with his dad the night before after the weigh-ins, and I said, look, Ursel is really damn good. It's you can be the best, but Ursel is I think Ursel is pound for pound. Yeah, one of the very damn best in one championship. There's no shame in losing to him. That's all I'll say.
But I think also it shows the mentality of George, where he's like, he just gets back to it. And like some people might take them months to, they're in a slump, or like that's a elite mentality. Like same with John after Suplex, back to it. So, it's kind of like how you respond to it, like how you respond to that defeat. And he looks like he's back to it again, which is like fair play to him.
Yeah,
like George is like so sound. Like,
yeah, he's a lovely guy. He seemed like it was not going to phase him.
Such a nice guy. Like all his family, all his teammates, like couldn't fault them at all. Such good people.
Good bunch. They're a good crew. It's nice to see them around. And I was speaking to his wife before. She was saying they're sticking around in Koh Samui until December. So they were going to get one more fight in. So, yeah, I think George said he's going to fight someone. Tetsuya here, suggesting it might be Sinsumet. Who knows? Anyway.
Good fight, to be fair.
Yeah, that would be. All right, got a few minutes left. How many numbered shows and in which country should one aim for in 2026? Where do you want to go, Pete, next year?
Well, the country I want to go to, I'm never going to have an event there, but I want to go to South Africa.
Yeah, no, I don't think that'll happen.
That's the place I'm going to be. I want to go to South Africa. Where would they like to go? See, everyone goes on about the UK card, but like I just don't think that will ever happen. And I think when you're in that Muay Thai bubble and everyone in the UK go, it'll be sold out, it'll sell out. Definitely. That's because people are in that little bubble. They don't realise that majority of people don't know certain names, and it's not going to be as big of a draw as people think. Like, unfortunately, the UFC is always going to. The UFC is just such a global brand. People just know what the UFC is. So the UFC could throw on a show in, Birmingham, Newcastle, and it'll sell out, or like smaller cities in the UK. But I just don't think that'd happen with one. Maybe another American card again, somewhere in
back to Denver.
Like a Saudi or somewhere like that, or like a Manila. Like, never been to the Philippines before. Wouldn't mind going to like Manila.
Yeah, I would love to go. Yeah, I just want to go back to all the cities I used to go to before the pandemic. Manila.
One in Hong Kong.
No, they'll never come here. It's even worse than there's no fight culture. There's no sports culture even. Yeah. I don't think it would happen. Maybe they could go to Macau.
Manila, I won't mind doing Manila. I remember I worked with, I think it was Amber Kitchen. I think it was when Pashao. Who was on? When was the last Manila card? It was like 3 years ago, maybe.
December 23. Yeah, that was the Scrivello's last event, and Malakin Derrida. Yeah, I miss it. I'd have to go back to the Philippines. I want to go back to Malaysia. I want to go back to Singapore. I think these are all possible things. So UK would be cool. I would love it to be at the O2 Arena because it's walking distance from my childhood home, and I've been to so many other events there.
Probably when people sell out Wembley, like it's not going to sell out Wembley.
I don't know, because you got a lot of diehard fans would travel from the north, I think, for it.
I just don't. I think it's people say that when they're in the Muay Thai bubble. I just don't like. Put it this way, like all my mates at home would know, like you'd maybe know like Liam or John, but they wouldn't, and they've won championship, but they're not like, would they go and buy tickets? To the average person, it's mainly people who are deep into Muay Thai, and like it's not. I just don't think, like, that's my opinion. I might be wrong. People might come back.
Probably the biggest single Muay Thai event in history in the UK.
Yeah,
there must be sort of 10,000 plus people who would all drop whatever they're doing. And
I don't think a Wembley. I don't think a sellout Wembley. I think that's a bit like, that's pushing it a bit.
Wembley Arena, or definitely not the stadium, but
Wembley Arena is what, like 20. I think Wembley Arena is like 20,000. I don't think it's 20,000.
I think they could do Manchester, maybe. The
Liverpool gets the M&S Arena on the dock.
Yeah. Manchester or Liverpool, I think somewhere in the middle, where between Scotland and London, because I think a lot of Scottish people would come for Nico if he's on the card. And anyway,
that won't happen. That's never going to happen. There's no point having a conversation.
I don't think it's going to happen. Can Pete fight? I don't know. Seen him get worked up a few times, but keeps his cool.
Don't need to. I've got the greatest Avengers around me. I don't need to fight.
Yeah, Bay Area would be fun. Story. If I agree. Do you think they could sell out 5,000 seats in the UK? Tetsuya asked.
I think 5,000. Yeah, I think. But like when people are saying, "Oh, it'll sell out Wembley," like that's a big Wembley, 90,000 people. I don't think you're going to be getting 90,000. Like,
I mean, they could do something like the Copper Box. I think there's some boxing been done there, but is it really worth going all the way over to the UK with all your production team and just to do like a few thousand seats? No, is my answer. Anyway, that's it. Gonna get out of here just cause.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the airport after.
Yeah, my mouth's very dry. I need some water. Been talking for an hour here. Been a bit of a mad rush this evening with all the news, but the headline, Rodtang Nong-O is on for 1173. Nabil is back against Enahachi. Bit of a surprise there on the tempo. Tawanchai as well against Lumen Yang. A little bit of a surprise there too. Takeru against Dennis Porsche. All these fights. Pete, what's up? What do you got coming up? Back to business. Ready for Fight Night 35, right?
Yeah, pretty much the fight night. Then after that, now Rodtang's not fighting. I'm going to go home for a couple of weeks and then come back.
Yeah.
The Bella, fighting on that card, a couple others, and then start camp properly with Nong-O, and then we're into November. And next thing we know, it's Christmas.
Yes, this time does fly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what. I've just seen something about these gloves that Chachi was talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. Maybe we'll save that for the next show. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you soon, Pete. Thanks for jumping on.
All good, mate.
And see everyone else. Yes, as Sean James says, have a great week, everyone. Yeah, I'll be back maybe tomorrow morning. Who knows? To do a show Wednesday. No, not tomorrow. I'm pretty busy tomorrow. We'll aim for Wednesday. Let's see. Yeah, good to be back. All right. Take care, everyone. See you soon.